Starbucks baristas strike in 3 U.S. cities during pre-Christmas rush. Today on Here's the Scoop. All right, guys, so I know you have already heard this probably or heard rumblings of this, guys, but this is definitely serious and it is growing. So today's article is from CNBC. And yes, Starbucks baristas are striking in Los Angeles, Chicago, and Seattle. Starbucks Workers United is pushing for better pay for baristas as it negotiates with the company. The coffee giant said in a statement that the union prematurely ended its bargaining session this week. So we're going to hear both sides in this article. Hey there. Thanks for clicking on the video. If you're enjoying what you're hearing, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell for notifications. Now, let's get back to the scoop. So it says Starbucks baristas in some locations are planning to strike through Christmas Eve, starting with cafes in Los Angeles, Chicago, and Seattle on Friday. So if you're not in those three cities, you might be in the clear. But if you want to support the strike, then you might not want to go anyway, right? It just depends on how you feel about it. The strikes will escalate each day, covering new markets as Starbucks Workers United pushes for better pay for baristas. Oh, so backtrack. It actually might be coming to a city near you. Starbucks is backtracking on our promised path forward, the union said in a post on X announcing the strikes. The stoppage could mean longer waits for holiday drinks and popular Starbucks merchandise in the days leading up to Christmas, when many Americans will be off work and school or buying last minute gifts. Relations between the company and the union have turned frosty again after a thaw earlier this year. Ooh, I like the way they wrote that. That's cool. In late February, both sides agreed to work together on a foundational framework that would include a process to achieve collective bargaining agreements for individual stores. Since then, they've conducted more than 9 bargaining sessions over 20 days, according to Starbucks. So they've really been trying to hammer this out to come to an agreement here. Earlier this week, Starbucks and the union met for the last scheduled bargaining session of the year, but ahead of the meeting, Starbucks Workers United Baristas voted to authorize a strike if the coffee giant didn't propose a comprehensive package that would address pay and other benefits. In the bargaining session, Starbucks proposed no immediate pay increase and only guaranteed annual pay hikes of 1.5% going forward, the union said. Starbucks said in a statement that Workers United prematurely ended the bargaining session this week. We are ready to continue negotiations to reach agreement. We need the union to return to the table, the company said. The union asked for a 64% increase to hourly employees' wages immediately. Wow. And a 77% pay hike over the life of a 3-year contract, according to Starbucks. Man, this is not sustainable, the company said in a statement. I think I might agree with Starbucks. I mean, guys, let's just have a real conversation right now. I definitely believe that they should be making more than $15 an hour for sure. I mean, we can even go maybe 18, maybe 20, especially for managers. Managers are probably making 25. But 64% increase to hourly employees? I mean, are these the employees that might be living in states where they're getting like $11 an hour, or are these including employees that are working in New York and maybe they're already making $20 an hour? Like, who is this going to? Is what I would want to know. And then a 77% pay hike over the life of a 3-year contract for working at a coffee shop? I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle about this, actually. I mean, I definitely support them, getting, a higher wage, a livable wage, especially because obviously it depends on the state they live in, the city they live in, how much the price of rent is. Obviously, all of this goes into play, right? If you're living in a really expensive city, you need higher pay. Totally, totally, totally. But like if you're living in the middle of America somewhere, I mean, should you really be making like $35 an hour at a Starbucks? And that's just, I'm being, I'm exaggerating, but you get my point. Anyways, so it says it's been a tough year for Starbucks globally and in the US. Its sales have declined as consumers look elsewhere for their caffeine buzz. In the wake of the sales slump, baristas will reportedly receive a smaller annual pay hike next year than they have in the previous years. Starbucks Workers United represents more than 500 company owned locations of Starbucks. Starbucks baristas aren't the only workers striking during the last minute holiday rush. Amazon, and guys, I haven't talked about this. I was going to talk about this, but I know everybody's talking about it. Amazon workers across 7 facilities went on strike on Thursday to put pressure on the e commerce giant to come to the bargaining table. I might still address this Amazon story. I'm not sure. Depends. I got some other stories to address. But yes, Amazon workers are also striking, guys. So everybody is striking. They're striking when the iron's hot, which is Christmas time. So it makes perfect sense. But what do you guys think about this Starbucks story and them asking for 77%? Uh, where was that? For 77% pay hike over the life of a 3-year contract and asking for a 64% increase to hourly employees' wages immediately. What do you guys think? Do you guys feel like this is justifiable? And if you work at Starbucks or you know someone who works at Starbucks, what do you think about this? Or ask them what do they think about this and let me know in the comments below. I actually do know a guy who works at Starbucks in California, and he actually keeps it as a part-time job because he told me that the benefits are so good. The healthcare is excellent. So it's not like Starbucks is the type of company in America that is, undercutting people per se, or not giving certain benefits or perks even to part-time employees. They have a lot of benefits, and I believe last time I checked, they also had this system where they were paying for people to go back to school or something like this, Let me know in the comments if you know anything about that, and let me know, do you guys think this is fair? I know that a lot of people actually have stopped going to Starbucks because of the Israel Palestine situation in the Middle East. I know that a lot of people were boycotting Starbucks on the Muslim side. So because they said they were, representing or giving money to Israel. So Starbucks has really been hit a lot, like hit really hard, honestly, this past year, so they haven't really been doing well. So is it fair for them to want a 77%, increase? I mean, is this fair, or do you just think this is business, right? Hey, Starbucks is a, multi-million dollar company, etc., and they need to give up extra money because they're making it, right? Is this just business? Do they just need to pay more because, obviously their shareholders are making more? But they said they were in a sales slump, right? So, and like I said, people have already been boycotting Starbucks and they keep raising their prices. And I think a lot of people have stopped going to Starbucks as frequently as they used to, because not only just because of this war situation, but also because they keep raising their prices. But again, let me know what you guys think below. I can't wait to hear it, and I will see you next time.